Hello, McFatterTech High School students and parents. It is Thursday, April 29th, and we are here with you for the weekly update for this week, the last week of April, going into the first week of May. Hard to believe. I am Jeanette Johnson, the director and principal here at McFatter Technical College and Technical High School. With me this week, the assistant director in charge of the high school, Mr. Daryl Harris.
Hello there.
Hello there. And we are missing a box this week. Ms. DeCastro is out today. She sends her well wishes. So it's just the two of us, and we were talking, Mr. Harris and I, right before we started recording, that it feels strange because we've been doing this now for almost a full year. And usually it is the three of us. There was one I missed and one you missed because you were out handing out textbooks or laptops. I think this is the first one Mr. Castro has missed. So you all are stuck with just the two of us today. So, so let's dive in and go over the information that we want our families to know as we go into the next week. And we'll start with information about testing. I know there's a little bit of AP testing, not all of it, but a little bit of it next week. So Mr. Harris, if you would review that.
Thank you. And as you know, we are in the testing season, so we'll giving updates weekly through up until the end of May, and the first week in June we'll be testing. But as far as next week is concerned, we do have some AP testing that will take place next week. I won't go into all the details, but all the students have already spoken with their teachers. They know their plans. They've already set up their accounts, and they'll be ready to log in to take their AP test next week. Another test that will take place is our ELA testing, and that's for 10th grade. They've done some testing already for this will be reading. They've already done their writing, but this will take place on May 5th and May the 6th. So we broke it up into 2 days just to give the students enough time to focus, and it'll be set up the same way they came in before to take care of their testing. So ELA testing for 10th grade on May the 5th and May the 6th.
And I want to mention as well, related to the ELA, the English Language Arts test, which for those people who've been around for years and years and years, this is the replacement for what used to be called the FCAT reading test. And we want to be sure that people understand, because there's been some information out there about testing and the governor's executive orders. We want people to know that current 10th graders, who are the students slated to take this test next week, this is a graduation requirement. And so there was some stuff in the news recently about some tests being waived for graduation requirements. People need to know that's only for this year's seniors. So if you don't come and take the ELA test this next week as a 10th grader, you have not taken the test you are going to need to graduate in 2 years. So we wanted to be sure people knew that, so that we didn't have any confusion and people thinking they didn't need this test in order to graduate, since this is for our 10th graders.
And that's a very good point to make. And even with when our 10th graders came in for the first testing they did on reading, they did most of them showed up. So I'm expecting the same thing next time, to have a good turnout for the testing. And
it certainly, since they are 10th graders, if they don't show up, there will be additional opportunities to do these as makeups, you know, in between now and when they are graduating seniors. But we didn't want people to think that students didn't have to pass this test, because they will by the time they graduate. Okay. The next thing is, I wanted to mention also next week for all families, interims for the 4th quarter, hard to believe, they are coming out on May 3rd, which I believe is Tuesday. No, excuse me, that's Monday, May 3rd. So the interims will be out and they'll be available via virtual counselor. So that's Monday, May 3rd. Every student and their families can see their interims for the 4th quarter. Also next week on Tuesday the 4th, we're having a senior assembly at 3 p.m. It is obviously a remote assembly using Teams. Ms. Lynn is in the process of making sure that information gets out to all the students so they know how to log on it, but it's really important that all of our seniors participate in that. Again, that's Tuesday the 4th at 3 p.m. There's going to be a lot of really important information coming out around graduation and wrapping up the end of the year, senior awards, all that good stuff. So we really need to be sure that all the seniors join us for that. Speaking of the seniors joining us for things, very exciting. Next week is also their prom, and for that I invite Mr. Harris to remind everybody about our prom coming up.
Yes, prom coming up very soon. That's next weekend. It's May the 8th, and we are really excited about the prom. I know the students are excited. Our sponsors are. our advisors. So everyone's excited for this opportunity. And like I said, there's been a lot of work put into this event to make sure that our seniors have an awesome event. Just to remind you, we've said this before, our goal is number one, to keep all of the students safe. So we will be following CDC guidelines. There's going to be some challenges, but we've got some things in place to make sure that this event goes really well. We didn't mention this, what we have. We will have security on campus. We will have a nurse on campus in case someone's not feeling well for any reason, but we are going to have a lot of things set up to make sure that, just in case, but we're prepared for the students to have a great time, and this will be a memorable event for them. So please, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, they're very, very, very cheap. And I mean probably $25 or less compared to $150, what we had in the past. So there's still time for the students to get their tickets because we're ready to receive them.
And prom, I think it starts at 7?
Yes, 7 until 11 p.m.
Gotcha.
And Ms. Johnson, can I mention one other thing in addition to that? And you mentioned about interims coming out on May the 3rd. And if just FYI to parents and students, if you are having any challenges and you see you're not where you want to be academically, we still have our Spring Academy going on through May. And more students are starting to show up. But if you need any help, please reach out to your teacher and let them know that you want to be a part and participate in the Spring Academy. In addition to our academic courses, we also, our school social worker and the counselors are also part of this here. So if you need any type of support, if you need counseling, anything, if it's social and emotional, just to have someone to talk to, we have support for you. So please reach out to us and take advantage of this opportunity that we have to support you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And then I think the last thing we had, we commented that we thought this was going to be a short week video. The last thing we wanted to mention for sure is we wanted to make sure all of the students and their parents knew that next week is National Teacher Appreciation Week. This is the time, a couple of weeks, just last week, we showed recognition for all of our support staff, like our secretaries and facilities workers and so forth. This coming week is when we show all of our instructional staff appreciation. So this is obviously all your classroom teachers. It is also people like your guidance counselors. It is Ms. DeCastro as a magnet coordinator.
Yes.
She's part of our instructional staff, even though, in other words, you can be instructional even if you don't teach classes. So Ms. DeCastro, Mr. Wood, our reading coach, all of these people are part of this team and obviously are core to helping our students be successful. So not only do we wish them thanks and appreciation, but we hope that students and the families will take some time out next week just to let your teachers and counselors know how much you appreciate them. We know it's been a tough year for a little over a year now. We're on 13 months since we went into COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. So we know it's been a tough time for everyone, including your teachers and counselors, who are all looking forward to summer break just as much, if not more, than the students are. So take a minute next week, if you would, and just send them your thanks and appreciation. We certainly know that they are the heartbeat of what keeps our school going so successfully. So we appreciate all of them. And I think that was all we had this week. Is that correct, Mr.
Yes, Ms. Johnson. And one last thing, and I'm down to this year, we've mentioned about our customer survey. Now, you may laugh, but we are down. I need 8 parents. 8 parents. We have 2 days to get this done. So I'm depending on you. Now, if you're one of the parents that have already done this here, call one of your other students if you have a friend and ask them to call in for McFatter and take care of the survey. We're down to 8. We've done an amazing job. The students did an amazing job, the staff, and so have the parents. So we're just down to 8, and I know you can do that. So I'm expecting tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll run the report and they'll say, hey, you met your goal. McFatter has done it and the parents have met their goals. So I appreciate that. Just wanted to mention that, Ms. Johnson.
And I laugh only because to let the families know, Mr. Harris and I have been watching this. We get this number update and we've been watching it creep closer to the
Yes.
target. We've talked in past meetings about how there's a certain percentage of parents that they want to be sure are doing the survey, just like there's a certain percentage of the students that need to do it, certain percentage of the staff. And we hit the staff and the student percentages a long time ago. And the parent one, it's been creeping towards it. And we got so close. And with the last report, which I think was a day or two ago, I said to Mr. Harris, what can we do? Can we buy somebody a lunch? We're so close. So the minute you started to talk about it, I knew that's what you were going to mention, which is why I laughed. So
it's okay.
Please, a handful of parents, if you haven't done the survey yet, please just help us out and log on and take that survey. So with that, we will log off for this week. We will be back here next Thursday, May 6th. We are into May next week, so we are most definitely into the home stretch. We hope students are hanging in there in order to finish strong, and parents, we know you're standing right alongside them, helping to be successful as we wrap up the school year. So we will see you all next week. Parents, please do your surveys. Seniors, will see you at prom. 10th graders, will see you on campus next week for testing, and everybody have a great weekend. You take care, Mr. Harris.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.